Hey folks, Poster, welcome back to another Pokemon Masters video. So, after last night's legendary summon video, which by the way is on the channel if you guys want to check that out, we finally did get Guzman. We got him 4 out of 5. Somehow. You guys gotta see it to believe it. It was insane. But, got him 4 out of 5. I did farm some Syncorps, and let's take him out for a spin. So, this video is going to be more of a, vanilla show, because I don't have that many Syncorps. Let's see how much, a little bit under 300, so can't really do much here. So, I thought it would be a good idea to actually showcase, Guzma with his, 1 out of 5, a sync grid, right? So, Guzma is an insane unit. This guy is probably the second best striker in the game at the moment, and he just does so much, right? The dude's sync grid is insane. He launched with a sync grid, right? And all stages of his sync grid are good, right? 1 out of 5 is good, 2 out of 5 is better, 3 out of 5 is just like the jump between 2 out of 5 and 3 out of 5 is insane. But again, today we're just gonna do 1 out of 5 stuff. And his 1 out of 5 grid, a lot of people say 1 out of 5 is bad. It's not bad. 1 out of 5 Guzma is really good. A few skills that, for some folks who probably missed it, right? Vigilance is probably one of the best defensive skills in the game. You're protected against crits. Crits is extremely strong in this game, right? If you can't get crit at all, and it only costs 5 energy, right? So this is a great skill, which you do get at 1 out of 5. And another one is that you could work on is Burstin, because here's the thing: Guzma's potential lies in its pin missile, right? Pin missile plus no quarter, which you can only get no quarter at 3 out of 5, right? But if you don't have 3 out of 5, pin missile is still not bad, but it's just not as absolutely broken as a move as it is at 3 out of 5. So you can still work with first impression, right? So for those of you who don't know, first impression is a huge damaging move that does not require any move gauges at all. And basically what it does is no move gauge, just a massive burst of damage, but you can only use it before you use any moves, right? And this includes all of your other whatever moves, right? Your stat buff moves, you can't use any of that, right? So you can only use it before you use any move. So you can't buff yourself before using it, unfortunately. But you can, however, use supports to buff your Golisopod, right? If you do have supports, that could help out. If you're in co-op, if you have teammates with any supports, that could potentially help out, right? But you just can't use any of your own buffs. Which, by the way, Guzman has some really good buffs, right? The dude is, in terms of buffs, he's maxed out on buffs, right? So he's really good on buffs. So Guzman does not need any any help in buffs when he is going for his pin missile build, right? But without the pin missile build, you just have to rely on teammates to give you buffs if you want a really good first impression, right? So let's go ahead and try him out. So let's first try him out in let's do the I almost said bug type training event, but it's not out yet. But let's do the other thing, the team skull, a story event, right? So this is the team we're gonna bring. Actually no. Let's do this. Okay, let's do this twice. Once showing first impression without any buffs, right? And then, well, it does have burst in, which you get free at 1 out of 5 sync grid, right? So we're gonna show him without any buffs first, and then we'll buff him to the max, and then showcase Guzma again afterwards. So again, he doesn't really need any supports. At 1 out of 5, he might want some speed, I guess, but maybe some defensive supports, because again, he just doesn't need any buffs, right? He gives himself +6 attack, +6 defense, give himself a +3 crit, right? So he's good on the buffs, and I guess if anything, maybe some speed, some special defense, maybe. And, oh, 2.4k. Almost just killed that Tyranitar right there, right? That's an unbuffed pin missile. Let's actually not do that. Let's buff it. Right? And again, he completely does not need, you know, any other supports to help out. Also, by the way, this stage is incredibly laggy when the Bomb Missile uses Razor Leaf. It just lags the game out a lot. Hopefully they are aware of this. I did mention this to DNA. Hopefully they could fix this soon. But yeah, that is a slight issue there. So, anyways, that first impression did a lot of damage against that Tyranitar, as you can see, right? So, oh, the Razor Leaf. Oh, the Razor Leaf lag is so bad. I don't know. Like, is it just like a Razor Leaf thing? Does it like happen with other like Razor Leaf units? Yeah, or is it just like an Abomasnow thing? Anyways, that's without any buffs. That's a non-buffed first impression, right? So what Bursten does is just guarantees that your next attack will be a crit once after you have entered the battle, right? Which basically means you will be getting a free crit on your first impression, right? Even without supports. So that's just by himself, comes in, first impression, huge damage for free. And yeah, again, I do talk about first impression a lot, but you know, Guzma, once you have him fully synchroned, you probably don't even want to use first impression just because pin missile just like is just insane in terms of damage. But you know, at the moment when you're at 2 out of 5, 1 out of 5, first impression is still not bad, right? It still does a decent amount of damage, even if it's only for one hit. Although you could, if you are playing in co-op, right, you could swap Guzma in, swap him out, swap back in, and then just swap him in and out. So you could use first impression up to 3 times. And also in Battle Villa, also means that you could use first impression 3 times as well in Battle Villa, right? So there's also that, I guess, to Guzman. Okay, so let's try this with a buffed up first impression. Actually we didn't need that Dart hit. We needed that, yeah. Attack buffs. Alright, we should have a max out first impression here. Let's see how much it does now. Alright, first impression here, and Tyranitar's basically that. Tyranitar does have endurance though, which by the way, like this stage just basically is like made for Guzma, because Guzma's pin missile, Razor Leaf lag again. Guzma's pin missile is a multi-hit attack, which multi-hit attacks, they do break endurance, right? Because they hit multiple times, they could bring your opponent down to endurance, and then another hit would just take it out. So that's also a really cool thing about multi-hit attacks. So basically, what I do see a Guzma as at 1 out of 5 without Synchron is a better version of Sceptile with Bullet Seed, which is really good. You know, Sceptile, even though people generally use it as a special attacker, and if you do have Dauntless on that thing, oh my god, right? But you know, Sceptile Bullet Seed is also a very viable option, right? And in some scenarios, you would want to use Bullet Seed over Leaf Storm, for example, EX Berry, right, where the opponent has very high special defense and not so much physical defense. You would want to use Sceptile with Bullet Seed instead of Leaf Storm, and for those who use it for, you know how powerful it is, right? And Guzma is basically that, except Guzma is slower than Sceptile, and also consumes like slightly more move gauges than Sceptile when you're buffing yourself. But other than that, what Guzma does have over Sceptile, which I do think is important, is in terms of, you know, physical damage, right? Bullet Seed Sceptile. Guzma does do more damage than Sceptile, for one, and Guzma has +6 defenses with like already base 180 plus defense. So Guzma at 1 out of 5 is really good, but he doesn't get insane until he's 3 out of 5. So let's go ahead and let's try out Guzma like defensively. Let's see how many hits this guy could take. Let's do Marshall. Marshall does physical damage, right, for the most part. I don't know about the sides though, but let's check out Marshall first. So let's take out these 2 tanks so they don't draw aggro, so the opponents will attack Guzma. Again, we're just trying to see how much hits this guy's gonna take before he goes down. or just, you know, how tanky he is. But because like another feature of Guzman, like he's not just a damage dealer, which he is a, you know, top tier damage dealer, but he also can take a lot of physical damage, right? All right, so let's go into this. And also I do think, does 1 out of 5 give him? Oh, I don't think it does. Oh, we do have a sync move opportunity here, or sync orb opportunity here. Okay, so they did unfortunately lower our defense there. Yeah. Even though this is what? Is this like very hard or super hard? But this guy is not taking damage at all. Let me just get this sync orb chance over here. Yeah. He's good in terms of damage, right? Let me use first impression just so I could not kill them and also get my sync move up. As you can see right over there, right? If you use any moves before that, even if it is buffing moves, your first impression will fail. So again, first impression only works when you haven't used any moves at all. That includes buffing moves as well, even if they're not like attacking moves, right? So again, pin missile. Mine's you know what? Mine's 4 out of 5, right? But pin missile per hit, it doesn't do too much damage, but it does hit 2 to 5 times, so that's a median of what, 3.5 or something, right? If I have that, let's see, 2. Yeah, should be 3.5 hits on pin missile, which does do respectable amounts of damage, but it's only at 3 out of 5 when he gets no quarter, which is basically skilling, so it makes it that every single pin missile is 5 out of 5 hits, right? Which skyrockets the dude's damage to like, I think it's what, 115 or something per pin missile, and that's like a 2-bar hit, and it hits harder than Olivia's Stone Edge, which is one of the hardest hitting moves, Stone Edge, right, from Olivia. But yeah, apparently not as much as a no quarter, or a no quarter boosted pin missile, right? So let's go ahead. Let's try to do it out in co-op, right? Let's do. There's no EX co-ops for Bug, but there are main story co-ops that are weak to Bug, so let's try that out. And we'll do our own thing here, right? The new solo co-op thing, whatever, right? For our own team, we don't really need any teammates, honestly, just because it's Guzma. I guess speed support would be nice here, right? Also, it's kind of annoying that they haven't, you know, gave us new EX challenges, which I know a lot of people were really annoyed about EX challenges before, but like now that they've nerfed them so much, they're so easy to beat, like just give us like the full set of gears, right, for 2 stars. I don't know why they're not doing it. Anyways, let's do that. Let's, on the side, let's put, I guess, a speed support. We'll throw in, let's put in Rosanta, I guess. Where's Rosanta? It should be slightly up. There we go. Let's put Rosanta in there. I think Rosa's here, right? So we'll have to take Rosa out first. Alright, up, there's Rosa, and we'll take him out. Actually, is this stage? Yeah, this stage is weak to Bug. So there we go. So in terms of Bug weak stages, the Bug type training event is coming up, so there's that. Also, the next Battle Villa, right? The final boss of the next Battle Villa is also weak to Bug. The last, boss set, the Battle Villa, right? It's also weak to Bug as well, so Guzman would also be very, very helpful there. Especially, if you do have Guzman max out, Guzman has a very, very strong, oh my god, has an extremely strong Battle Villa set for its grid. He has First Aid, which is one of the strongest passives for Battle Villa, right? That's the one where it recovers like 40% of your HP once during the battle when you're in a pinch, but that resets every single time after you beat a match, right? So extremely powerful there. First Aid 4, and again you still have Vigilance. So like the thing with Battle Villa is survivability in comparison to like your regular battles. It's going way too quick. Yeah, survivability is key in Battle Villa in comparison to your regular battles, which is why Guzma's grid is just so incredibly strong in Battle Villa. Oh my god, it's getting shredded. And again, we're not even gridded up yet for the most part. All right, Let's try this again afterwards with like just like first impression. Let's see if just using first impression, swapping in and out of Guzma would be of much help. So what I'm gonna do here, we're gonna put Eevee inside, right? Because first impression, keep in mind, it's before Guzma uses a move, right? It doesn't matter any other teammates or whatever. And Eevee has the skill Benefactor, which once you swap Eevee into another teammate, it passes on all the stats to that teammate. And Eevee does in fact have a attack boost. Don't ask me why Milk Tank is here. Let's see. We got Eevee with Let's Go, right? So we could Let's Go, raise our own attack by 2, and then swap into Guzma. So Guzma gets that extra +2 attack, and into that first impression, right? So that would be very, very powerful. So let's start Guzma because there's 3 and there's only 2 Let's Go's from Eevee, right? So we could start Guzma first impression, swap into Eevee, use Let's Go, swap into Guzma again, then we get to use first impression again because it's every time it enters the battle, right? And then also, I think Bursten would also trigger as well, right? Let's see. Let's go first impression. Let's make this slightly slower, or else it's way too chaotic. Actually, let's Pin Missile take it out here before we swap into Eevee. Let's have them attack these sides, please. All right, let's go into Eevee with Let's Go. And okay, that's not bad. Hit the right side then. Alright, let's swap into Eevee. Let's go. Buff our attack. Go back into Guzma. And come in with a first impression plus Bursten, which again, another guaranteed crit, with this time +2 attack on first impression, right? So after that, we're gonna swap again. Again, we're just here to. Ooh, damn! Well, there goes that. there goes Nanu. Poor thing. All right, let's swap into Eevee again with Let's Go, and we should get another first impression off after that. Eevee, I don't know. People say Eevee's. People talk trash about Leaf and Eevee all the time, but like they're really good. They're really good. They're a solid sync pair. They're great for Battle Villa. They're really, really good for co-op, right? I do not understand why people say Eevee is bad. It has Potion, which is incredible. It has a decent buff. Oh, well, unfortunately, you can't get that last hit in. And it has Benefactor, which is really, really good, right? So, anyways, this should wipe that poor Pelipper off this map. And let's speed up. Oh, we get a first impression in. No, Delibird. Rip. Oh well, I should have emoted them to support instead. It doesn't matter. You guys get the point. You can swap it in, swap it out, get more first impressions in, and that combo with Eevee is just nasty for first impression. But again, that is not actually how to use Guzma properly. If you do have a max out Guzma, this is not the optimal way of using Guzma, right? This is only the tip of the iceberg for GUZMA GOLISOPOD, and it's still really, really good. But it goes to like an absolute another level once I do finish farming for its Syncred. So hopefully I can get this done soon. I don't know. It usually takes me like 3 or 4 days to farm its Syncred. Thankfully, the event did give us 100, sync orbs for Guzman and a bunch of co-op orbs as well. But yeah, check back in 2 or 3 days, and hopefully I'll have its Syncred max by then. So, anyways, that's me for this one. Hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Like and enjoy this video, subscribe to the channel for some more Pokemon Masters content. I'll see you guys in the next one.